Imagine, if you will, a cozy little company town, perhaps a bit too cozy. This is the setting of a low-poly indie gem called Easy Delivery Company. Solo developer Sam C. attempts to combine a creepy, nearly deserted town with a cozy driving simulator. But can the controls and story shine through the title's dreary snowstorm? Hi, my name is Dove and I love indie developed games, and today we're going to take a look at this snow-filled simulator that mixes cute and cozy with just the right amount of intrigue. You start off in a mountain town near your tiny Kia-style truck. The main character throughout your journey is a little black cat that luckily sticks out in all the gray and white low-poly snowstorms. After talking with a few of the weird or sometimes creepy townsfolk, you'll start making deliveries and taking them all over town. And essentially, that's the point of the game. You can just select which delivery you want and do that all day long if you want to. But in order to open up the map and unlock a few upgrades, you'll have to follow and accomplish your goals. They'll start off as corporate checklists, but eventually they'll transform into the plotline. Definitely a satire as you read through the emails or instructions for the game, but I'll let you discover the specific details on your own. Once you start poking around the Twilight Zone town that you're in, you quickly understand the draw of the game. The driving is just great, and at the end of the day, it's relaxing. The controls are responsive, but don't overcomplicate anything. Too many games, especially driving titles, can get bogged down with too many bells and whistles and things you gotta pay attention to. Easy Delivery Company intentionally removes all the hubbub and you're left with all that you need. Much like if you were in your very own work vehicle. Sure, you can toggle lights or hit the horn, but the main controls are just gas and brake. No nitrous boosts or controlling the direction of your car in the middle of the air, just the bare essentials, and it's a refreshing change of pace to this gamer. The controls are responsive in the elements, and yet it never feels like the game is forcing you into an accident either. Easy Delivery Company understands driving in the snow unlike so many other titles. The best games make driving in the snow feel like a quality off-road style of experience, and that's what you get here. That awesome use of the slide or drift to catch the turn just right feels amazing when you can get it, although you'll have to earn it. Initially, the car feels a bit loose, but once you unlock the snow tires in the second map, it feels like night and day. But if you want to earn some extra tip money, you can't go drifting around corners all willy-nilly. The physics in the game isn't just solid when it comes to the driving, but it keeps drivers honest with the balancing act they'll need to do with the items in their tailgate. If you pay close attention and keep the goods in place, then you'll earn a lot more money through tips, but sometimes it's just a lot more fun to slide around in that snow. And unless your cargo completely falls out, you'll still get the agreed upon amount when you finish your delivery. So honestly, don't stress too much. Heck, even if your delivery falls out, all you need to do is find it and put it back in your truck. While balancing your cargo's delivery, you'll also have to manage some survival-style mechanics. Of course, you have to keep your company truck's gas tank full on your own dime, manage your energy level, which will directly affect your character's movement speed, and you'll have to keep from turning into a cat-shaped ice cube by finding shelter or campfires when it gets too cold. There aren't too many items to worry about though, and your inventory doesn't appear to have a limit, so it's all about planning and resource allocation. Easy Delivery Company definitely allows you to farm resources to keep the difficulty curve right where you might want it as a gamer. Need some coffee or firewood for a long walk? Then take a couple extra deliveries in town to stack up some quick cash. But at the end of the day, you won't need a million different items to finish each goal, so just make sure you have enough gas in your tank and maybe a few extra wood bundles, and you should fare nicely in this one. One aspect of the game which might split gamers is definitely the map system. There is no GPS, because that would likely cost your company more money. In Easy Delivery Company, the game will show you the local map and point out any pickup or drop points if needed. But as to where you are, you'll have to figure that out the old-fashioned way. I loved it as it forces you to pay attention a bit more, but I can definitely see that rubbing some gamers the wrong way. The art style is definitely a bit drab and gloomy at times, but it is true to life. If you've ever driven in a snowstorm, then the visuals on this will be spot on, albeit looking through the lens of a PS1 maybe. The shops aren't overwhelmingly colorful either, but definitely inject a welcome reprieve of color from the constant snow and slush outside. The lo-fi music is a nice touch. Without spoiling too much, the connection will get better as you play, but the random MIDI music hits with the theme of a work truck. You're often lucky if you get FM radio in a work-owned car, so this feels very real to life. But when you do get a few songs to come in, they blend in just perfectly with that chill ride in the snow. Tech-wise, I only had one random crash, and with an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam, the bugs seem to be few and far between, and rarely detract from many gamers' experience if at all. Steam Deck users are also reporting stability, which is always a big boost for indie titles like this. I was also relieved I could turn down or even off the CRT effects. It is a great touch for the menu, pause screens, and maps, but it's also a lot easier to read when you turn that stuff down. Overall, I recommend Easy Delivery Company. It is a simple yet very mechanically sound game that has the perfect amount of story, satire, and drifting in the snow for gamers to have all kinds of fun with. Perhaps some gamers won't enjoy the drab gray and white presentation or the low poly graphics, but the game doesn't linger, so you won't have to live an eternity in the gray. Average playtimes are around 5 hours, something I can confirm, but there is also plenty to explore and multiple endings if you want. And the deliveries are constantly randomized, so you can deliver to your heart's content if you just enjoy the game's driving like myself. For $12.99 before any sales, Easy Delivery Company will give you plenty to explore and as much driving to pass the time as you want. Check out Easy Delivery Company, available on Steam. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button. And subscribing goes a long way towards bringing you more content like this. We also have a weekly news podcast called the Indie Radar, where we focus on indie news and upcoming titles. Thanks again for watching from all of us here at The Gamer Buff.